might have to do something. Okay, so we'll begin seated. So whatever that looks like for you, or lying down. So coming into a place that's comfortable and taking 3 deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And allowing the breath just to become relaxed and normal, not really thinking about it or forcing it. Just breathing in and out. And coming into your space, wherever you're at, noticing the temperature of the room, the sounds around you, if there's any sounds, or noticing the silence. And taking a moment to check in with your body. Notice how your body's feeling this morning. Head, neck, shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers. Feeling the weight of your body if you're sitting on a chair or the floor, or if you're lying down. Feeling that sense of gravity. And noticing your spine in the back and your hips. The weight of your legs all the way down to your feet. And just scanning any places that feel a little tight or tense or uncomfortable. And just take a moment to pay attention to those places or place, taking a few breaths there. So the first reading I'm going to do is gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. Gratitude can transform common days into thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. When we give cheerfully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. Gratitude can transform common days into thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. When we give cheerfully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed. So maybe for this class, set an intention for something that you're grateful for, someone, something. And then when you're ready, just tip your head down towards your chin down towards your chest. Open your eyes slowly. And when you're ready, gradually come up to the center. Perfect. From here, we're going to look over the left shoulder, take our chin down, looking at the floor or the mat, and feeling the stretch on the right side. Bringing our chin up, we're going to come over to the right side, take your chin down to your shoulder, looking at the floor, and feeling that stretch on the left. Bring your head up. Do that one more time, looking over the left shoulder, taking your chin down. Bringing your chin up and over to the right and chin down, looking at the floor. And come back up to the center. We're going to turn our head over to the left. We're going to take our fingers and just give our SCMs, these little muscles along the side of our neck, all the way up to the corner of our jaw. Just a little squeeze or a pluck. I usually call this plucking, just plucking it. So along this muscle, our large intestine points. So we're in metal element. We're talking about lungs, large intestine, but also the Japanese look at this area as an area to regulate our nervous system. So it can be very relaxing and calming and ease some stress. So if you notice these are a little tight and painful, then, just go to your comfortable pluck, but it's something you might want to consider doing on a daily basis to help them stay relaxed. And then bring your chin over to the right, same thing on the other side, just plucking that muscle. Breathing in, breathing out. It's also a very nice way to wake up the front of our neck. We usually pay attention to the back of the neck and not a lot to the front of the neck. And come back to the center. We're just going to take our fingertips on our cheekbones. So if you're a little congested or sinusy, tapping on the cheekbones lightly, just to move any congestion around in the sinuses, just giving them a little tap. Followed by a neti pot. This is a really nice way to clear the sinuses. You can also do a neti and then just tap on your cheeks. Take our index finger by the nose, each side of the nostril, pressing out and up, and taking 3 deep breaths. Large intestine 20. Welcome fragrance. Opening the nose. Beautiful. Release that. Give your shoulders a roll. Make your little beaks. Bring them into the pec muscles around lung 1. Rooster spreads its wings. So just focus on the elbows. Think about bringing the elbows up and the elbows back. Your fingers are just resting there. If it hurts your hands, you can just keep a thumb there. You can just keep a finger, whatever feels good. There's no really right or wrong to how this feels. So we are, in case you haven't figured it out, we're working with that metal element still. Lung, large intestine. Beautiful. And we're just making this circle in one direction. Everybody's should be, okay, if you're going to the front, reverse it to the back. We'll do both because I see a couple people going to the front. So if you are going to the front, go to the back. If you're going to the back, go to the front. Beautiful. And let that go. Give your shoulders a little roll. We're going to take our thumb at the crease here in the elbow. And we're going to press here for a large intestine 11 or our immune point. So you can, I'm circling, I like to do that, but you can just hold and press, or you can massage it. Take 3 deep breaths. Good. Other side. 3 deep breaths. Beautiful. And then we're going to make a movement today in our class called Tiger, which is the animal for the metal element. Every element sort of has this animal. So if you remember, cheeky monkey for the earth, right? And bear for the kidneys, and tiger's kind of for the lungs. So just try to make this claw shape as best as you can with your fingers. And then circle the wrists. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, and then the other way. 1, 2, 3. Now spread apart your fingers and play the piano. Let's give them a little. Good. Now come back into that tiger's claw. Stretch your arm straight out, and then 1, 2, 3, and then the other direction. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Give your wrist a little shake. Awesome. Okay, let's come up to stand. So if you're seated, you can stay seated if you want, or you can come up to standing, whatever feels better. Good. We'll start with just a little loose shaking. So just a little loose shaking. So you can lift your heels if you want to and just give yourself a little bounce. That's good. You can turn your body a little bit side to side. Your arms are heavy. We're just going to move the muscles, the tendons, and the ligaments around the joints. So you can go a little faster, or you can just go slow and just bounce a little bit. You can bend your knees a little. You can lift your shoulders up and down, letting them drop. Give your wrists a little shake. And just feel everything kind of moving. Give your legs a little shake. Beautiful. And then just come back into Wuji. So lift through the crown of the head. Let the tip of the tongue behind the top teeth at the roof of the mouth, like you're saying la la la. And arms are relaxed. Fingers, elbows. Tailbone drops or sinks a bit between heels. So bend the knees slightly. That'll give you that same effect. And then if you feel comfortable, you can rotate the knees out a little bit over the balls of the feet. This is our empty stance, our relaxation stance. Take a nice deep breath in, deep breath out, feeling strong and connected with your feet. If you don't, you might need just to move them a little bit. So adjust them however it feels. You can feel all the bottoms of your feet on the ground. We're going to float actually, let's bring our arms up, loose fists. We're going to inhale and open, and exhale and tuck. Inhale and open. Exhale and tuck. Inhale and open. That's it. So kind of making a little bit of like a standing cat-cow. This is called spinal wave. I like to call it open and close the gates. It just reminds me more of that movement than a wave. But when you do cat-cow, I always think of a wave. So just working with your own breath, inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. Last one. And we'll let that go. Give your legs a little shake. Now, we're going to take our hands at the tops of the thighs. This one, I think, more of a spinal wave. We lead with the chin. Our hands come down just to about the knees, and then we tuck the chin and we roll back up. So we exhale, or inhale, sorry, and exhale. So just taking that movement in the spine a little bit lower into the low back. Always nice to get the spine warmed up. Of course, before we make any movements, just do a couple more of these, rolling up. And this feels more like a cat-cow to me. And last one will come up. You'll release that. Beautiful. Okay, check back into your Wuji stance. And then we'll do the lung 5 element movement. So our arms come up to the just in front of the chest. We inhale and we rotate the palms to the ceiling, reaching back with the thumbs. We exhale and we come back to the center. We inhale and exhale. So try to keep a softness in your arms and just in the wrists and in the hands, almost like you have these really soft balloons, and the balloons are just floating your arms back, and then you turn them. So you feel most of the movement happening in your shoulders. And when you come to the end range here, when you're taking an inhale, you can just reach back a little bit with the thumb. That's where the lung meridian lies. So this is more like opening the chest too. All the movements we just did, we're opening, lubricating the spine, moving the spine, and opening the chest in the front and in the back. Beautiful. And we'll do one more. This is the one where your arms could start to get really tired. And then we'll float the arms back down. Good. And then we're going to use our chi, and we're just going to imagine that we are kind of coming, so the lung meridian is here, it starts here, right? And it comes down this side to the thumb. And then the large intestine starts at the index finger. And as we know, it comes up along the SCMs and ends at the nose. So what we're going to do with our hands is we're just going to kind of trace. And then we're flip. And we're going to bring the other hand up. Got it? Can you see that? So we're going to trace an arm down, just sort of along that thumb. The hands meet, we flip, and then we come back up. And then we trace down. And back. So right at the chest, it's like you're coming across these lung 1 meridians. Go down to the thumb. And up. And across. That's it. And down. And up. And across. Across. Last one. Just kind of like smoothing the chi in those meridians. And then just take your hands, just place them on the top of the chest. Take your fingers, you're going to beat a little bit under the collarbone. And release. Okay, let's start to move a little bit in some yoga poses. Then we're going to get into that tiger movement for our lungs. So be sure to have a block if you need. I always have my block handy. Make sure you got some water if you're drinking water or whatever beverage this morning. And we're going to start with just some upward salutes and forward folds. So we'll just do a traditional upward salute and forward fold. Your forward folds are always optional. You can always I always like to kind of roll down. That feels good for me. But you can swan dive, taking the arms out to the side and come down. You can also just reach out and fold forward. So always just whatever feels better in your body. I just kind of like to roll down. So We'll start in Tadasana. So finding a mountain pose, maybe thinking about those Adirondacks with the snow and feeling our feet connected to the earth, like a big snowy mountain lifting up through the crown of the head, fingertips reaching down to the ground. Take a nice breath in and out. And then inhale, come into your upward salute, squeezing your glutes, supporting that low back. And then exhale, come into your forward fold. Let your head release towards the mat. Shoulders and elbows, hands can rest on a block. Take a breath here. Make sure your head is nice and loose. You could shake it yes and no. Pressing into the feet, you can reach out, rise up, or roll back up one vertebra at a time. Coming back into that upward salute. Exhaling, coming back into your forward fold. Doing this a few times just to stretch out the backs of the legs. Maybe you pedal your feet, your knees. Feeling the backs of the legs get a little stretch. Shake your head yes and no. And when you're ready, pressing into the feet, rise up. Come back into that upward salute. And exhale last time into our forward fold. From here, take a breath in, bringing your hands up to the knees in a nice flat back. And then exhale and fold one more time. Let's step back with the right foot. And we're going to keep the right toes on the mat. But we're going to see if we can keep that heel off the mat. You can put it down if you need to. But just step back far enough to keep the heel down or to keep the heel up. Either way. Inhale, we're going to bring our arms up. Exhale, we're going to come into that cactus shape. And when we do that, we're going to lower the heel. And then we're going to come back up. And we're going to exhale, lower that heel. Inhale, up. And exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Step the right foot up. And reach out, rise up or roll up. And come into that little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold again. And step back with the left foot, keeping the heel off the ground. Or if you need to, you can also put it down on the ground. If the heel's on the ground, when you inhale, you can lift it up. And then exhale, put it down. Or you can start with the heel lifted, lifting up, and inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. And exhale. Inhale, last time, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Step the left foot up. And reach out, rise up. Come into the back bend. Exhale and forward fold. Take a breath here. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhale and fold. And release it towards the mat. Take the right foot and step it back into a warrior one. So have that right foot at a little 45-degree angle. Your hips are mostly facing the front. Beautiful. And arms come up, warrior one. Now from here, we're going to start to add that little bit of that tiger claw. So all we're going to do here is shift back like we do washing the hair. And then we're going to make our tiger claws. And then we're going to reach out right in front of us. And then back up. Release the tiger claw. Come up behind your head. Make the tiger claw in front of the chest. And reach out. And inhale, come up. And exhale, reach out. Beautiful. From here, circle the wrists. So just like we did when in our little practice, circle the wrists out. And then just bring them into your waist. And press out in front of the chest. Circle. Bring them into the waist. Reach out one last time. Circle. And bring. Good. And release that. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Step the right foot up. Reach out, rise up or roll up. And come into your little back bend. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, hands to the knees, flat back. And exhale, fold again. Left foot steps back. And we're back into that warrior one. So take a moment to set your warrior one up. And this should be enough. You shouldn't have your legs too far back. You should be able to make this shifting movement with the front leg without moving the back leg except for this little bend. So take your time and set that up. Arms come up, warrior one. Take a breath here. Now we're going to start to wash our hair. So lean back, lift the right toes, tiger claws in front of the chest, and we press out. Inhale, tiger claws, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Hold your tiger claws out, circle, and draw the elbows in. Reach out, and circle, draw the elbows in. Reach out, last one, circle, and draw the elbows in. Inhale, back into warrior one. Exhale, come into your fold. And left foot steps up. Take a moment here, let your body release, your head relax, just hang down. Take a nice deep breath. When you're ready, reach out, rise up, roll up, or whatever, and come back into our Tadasana. Take a moment in Tadasana. And then take a nice deep breath. Come into your upward salute. Exhale, come into your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Right foot is going to step back. So almost like we're in warrior two, but we're going to straighten the front leg when we rise up. So if we were going to have that leg bent, we would be in warrior two, but we're going to keep it straight. And when I always say straight, you know, I mean, don't lock your knees unless that's comfortable for you. Locking my knees is not comfortable for me. Arms are going to come up, palms are going to turn to the front. We're going to come into triangle. So imagine you're just sliding down a wall. If this arm bothers you, you can tuck it behind you, or you can lift it up to the ceiling, whatever feels good. So you'll notice that the base of my triangle are my feet. My right hand is my top of my triangle. So now you have this shape that looks like a triangle. So the arms, one arm is up, one arm is down. Now, if you can't hold that, if it's feeling stressful in the left groin or the left leg, put a bend in it, let your arm rest in it, come into more of like a side angle. Take one more deep breath here. And release. We're going to look at the floor. We're going to take that right hand back down to our block. And then we're going to lift the right foot, step the toes forward. So now we're in like pyramid pose. You can bring the block a little closer to you if you want. Keep the back flat. Maybe you just have your fingertips on the block. And if you want to challenge, you can take your arms and just rest them in the low back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Take another breath. And when you're ready to release, step the back foot up and rise up. Come back into Tadasana and take a breath. And when you're ready, come into upward salute. Exhale, come into your forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold again. Maybe your hands are on the block. And we're going to step that right foot back like we're coming, left foot back. Like we're coming into warrior two, but we're going to keep our legs straight. Arms come out, palms face the front. And we're going to come into triangle. And again, noticing how that shape feels in your body, whatever you need to do with your elbow or your arm, if you need to bend the elbow and take it behind. See if you can open that chest a little bit more, making the top of your shoulder the tip of the triangle. Nice deep breath. And then just take your head, look down, take both hands back to the block, lift the left foot and turn it towards the front. And then you come into triangle, into pyramid on this side. If you want to challenge yourself, you can take your arms behind your back, squeeze the elbows together, but you don't have to. Take another breath. And when you're ready, step up. Release that pose, take a nice deep breath. So facing the side of your mat, so not standing at the top. We're going to take, well, let's start in like a Tadasana or a mountain pose. So feet are just hips distance apart. And then we're going to take our toes out. So you can take them out one at a time. Then you're going to take your heel out. And then just turn your toes out a little bit. So this should be a fairly comfortable distance between your legs. This is what we call like pony stance. It's not quite horse. It is. It can be horse for you. Oftentimes it's just horse for me. Horse stance would be maybe doing that one more time. Okay, so it's fairly large, but this should be pretty comfortable. So we're going to make that little tiger movement that we just made. So we're going to start by bringing the arms up in front of the chest. And then when we reach out, we're going to bend our knees. So make sure the toes are 45 degrees angle. We're going to bend the knees. And I don't mean that we're going to do this. We're not coming down in a squat. We're just bending the knees. Your back is straight. Okay? So the arms come up in front of the chest. We bend the knees. We reach out. Make that little tiger paw. That's it. Circle the wrists. And then bring the tiger paw back. Good. Now from here, continue to reach all the way back. Circle the wrists. Good. And then reach all the way out. Circle the wrists. Bring the arms in like a cactus shape. And elbows come down. Palms turn up. Reach out to the front. Claws. Circle. Elbows slide back. And continue to slide them all the way back behind you. And circle. Arms come out. Circle. Arms come up. And we bring them back down to the waist. Let's do that one more time. Palms are up. And inhale, we reach out. Circle. Exhale. Circle. Inhale. Circle. And last one. Bring the arms down. And arm back up. And give your legs a little shake. Want to try that just with the arms? Everybody got the arms okay? To reach out like a claw. We circle. We bring the elbows back so your palms turn up. The elbows come back. We come behind us. Circle. And then we bring the arms up, just like we're doing the lung, right? The arms are up, palms are up. Circle. Then we come up. And then we come back down. Palms are up. And we start it over. Let's do that one more time. So start in your mountain pose, or Wuji. And then take toes out, heels out, toes out. Going to bring the arms up to the chest, bend the knees. Okay. Stick the arms out. Circle. Inhale back. And circle. Inhale up. Exhale, circle. Come into that little cactus and back down. And one more time, out. Good. I know I didn't guide you that last time. Good job. Give your legs a little shake, give your wrists a little shake. Let that go. Take some breaths here. You might feel a little warm from all that tension in the fingers and just that breath and holding that pony stance. Take another deep breath. Let's take our hands on our hips. We're going to squeeze our right glute. And then with our left leg, we're going to bring it across. We're going to bring it up and just tap it down. Across, up, and down. Just to open the hips. Across, up, and down. And again, if you need to go tap your toe, lift up and tap your toe, that's fine. You don't have to keep your leg up the whole time. And then to the other side. So squeeze the glute, come across, up, down, across, out, and down. Last one. Beautiful. And then take your feet back together and then do the heel, toes, toe, heel, toe back out. And then bringing your arms in by the sides. We're going to bend those knees, nice straight back. Option here to hold this the whole time, or when you come into Dancing Rainbow, if you want to straighten one leg, you can. So you can hold in your pony, or you can straighten as you go to one side or the other. Nice and slow with the breath, exhaling and inhaling and exhaling and good. Exhaling. So working in this pony stance strengthens our legs and our quads and the earth element. And let's make one more to each side. Coming back, releasing, bringing your legs back together. So yesterday we did a balance pose. Crane takes flight. So the difference, I had to think there for a minute, stork and crane. So the stork spreads its wings, is we're up like this, and then we tap and we bring the knee in. Crane takes flight is your arms start in the front and lift up with the knee, and then we step back instead of forward. So the arms come up, and then as you step back, the wings step down or float down. And then as your wings come back up, the knee comes up and step back, the wings float down. So inhale, and we're stepping up. And exhale, stepping back. Inhale, stepping, up. Exhale. So again, one side might be a little bit easier to do. You'll see when we switch. And then just step that back leg up, and then we'll go to the other side. So arms come up, the opposite knee comes up. As the arms come down, that foot steps back. Inhale, we shift the weight, draw the knee up. Exhale. And then last one. And you can see how once you get in the rhythm of this one, it can also be very meditative, challenging your balance and getting into that nice meditative state. Take another nice deep breath. And then one more for our earth element. We did this one yesterday too. Our hands just come right in front of the belly, like we're holding a ball of chi, a ball of energy. Take a moment, make sure your arms are relaxed, tailbones drop, tip of the tongue is behind the top teeth. And then we're just going to take the ball and our right hand's going to come on top. And then we're going to go up and down, north and south. So just till you come over the head, just above the head, and then bring your ball of chi back to the center, rotate the ball. And then bring the chi east and west, out to the sides, and back to the center. And then turn the ball the opposite way. So now the left arm comes on top. And then we move the chi north and south, back to the center. Rotate the ball. East and west. Back to the center. Turn the ball. North and south. Let's do two more on your arm with your own breath. Last one. You might notice an increase in that telomeres or magnetic area between your palms as you do this movement. And then when you come back to the center, let that right hand just go right to the dantian, left hand on top. Breathe the chi in. Beautiful. And let that go. And let's come down onto our backs. Have block handy. And so just get comfortable for a moment. It's the first time we're kind of on our backs, unless you were on your back at the very beginning of class. So take a moment to sink the back into the mat, feeling that little curve in the low back, shoulder blades, everything else is connected. And then we're going to take our block. And we're going to take it between our knees or our thighs and give it a little squeeze. So when you look down, well, you can't really see your feet, but I don't want your feet way out to the sides of the mat and your knees collapsing inward. Try to keep the feet in line with your hips. So hips distance apart, feet in the mat.
Take your arms, reach them up to the ceiling, and start to bring them behind you. And just notice when you lift the rib cage off the mat. So that could be anywhere, or it could be nowhere, and your arms could come all the way to the floor behind you without lifting the rib cage off. So just take a moment to see where that happens for you. And stop when you get to that place, and then just bring them back overhead, straight up to the ceiling, I mean. And back overhead behind you and back up to the ceiling. Good. Now, pressing your feet into the mat, keep your arms up to the ceiling, press the feet into the mat, flatten the low back, lift the hips, hold here, and then slowly lower the back, relax the legs, relax the glutes. Good. Take the arms behind you. Stop when you start to arch the back, bring them back up to the ceiling, press the feet into the mat, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips, hold here, and lower. Take the arms behind you. Stop when you start to arch, come back up to the ceiling, press the feet, flatten the back, squeeze the blocks, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. From here, hold the hips up, take the arms behind you. As you start to bring the arms back up over the ceiling, start to lower the hips up to the ceiling, lower the hips. Press into the feet, reach back up with your hips, coming into bridge, take the arms behind you. Bring the arms back up to the ceiling and lower. And press into the feet, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the block, come up into bridge, take the arms behind you. Bring the arms up to the ceiling, start to lower the back. One more time, bring the hips up, reach the arms back. Start to lower and bring the arms back up to the ceiling. Perfect. Just take your one hand, move the block, take it away off to the side. Arms are still up to the ceiling. Now, without the block, we're going to press into our feet, lift up into bridge, take the arms back at the same time, and then come all the way back up, arms to the ceiling, lower the hips. Press into the feet, come into bridge, take the arms behind you, and start to lower, keep the arms up to the ceiling. Last one. And this time, bring your arms all the way down alongside of you. Bend the elbows, bring the arms into a cactus position. And then bring the knees in towards the chest, lowering the knees over to the left. Keeping that right shoulder on the mat. And looking over the right shoulder, coming into a twist. And bring your knees back up to the center. And when you're ready, lower them over to the right. And maybe you look over to the left. Keeping that, we're trying to keep that left shoulder blade on the mat. So if we have our arms in cactus, sometimes that's easier. If you find your arm, your left shoulder's popping up, then just draw that elbow down towards your body. Bringing the arm closer to the body is going to glide the shoulder blade down and keep it on the mat for you. Take another breath. When you're ready, come back up to the center. Give your knees a little hug, massage the back. And slowly lower your feet back down to the mat. And if you want to, you can come into waterfall. You can take your legs up the wall if you have access to that, or you can take that block back under the sacrum, And just bring the legs up towards the ceiling, just coming into waterfall. From here, you can play around with movement of your ankles. Maybe you want to circle them, or point and flex them. Maybe you want to draw the knees into the chest. And if you want to get a little bit more of a stretch in the tops of the hip flexors, you can just keep the block where it's at and stretch the legs long, coming into this version of bridge pose. Just letting the legs stay long, stretching out the front of the thighs if you want. And also, you can do whatever other movements you might want to make. So maybe you want to come into another twist of some sorts, or a happy baby pose, or bringing your knees to your chest, or whatever floats your boat. So take some time to come into those movements, and then make your way into your resting pose. In your Shavasana. And when you come into Shavasana, maybe you take a couple more deep breaths, or maybe your breath feels relaxed and you're happy right where you're at. And as you let go of your practice, this practice of joyful gratitude, maybe your week is beginning today if you were celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving yesterday. And if your week has already started, just a reminder. I step into this week by inviting the divine to bless me with clear guidance. May my intuition be strong so my actions can be intentional and meaningful. May I remain grounded in my body and confident in my voice so I may live my truth. May love infuse my mind, guiding my thoughts with compassion, peace, and kindness. May every step I take lead me to my highest good. I invite you to slowly bring some movement back into your body. And when you feel ready, you can take your time and make your way up to a comfortable seat.
Closing our practice with a breath. Bringing your hands to your heart, sending love and gratitude to yourself. Love and gratitude to someone else. Thanks for showing up today. And thank you for giving me the honor to guide you in your practice. Namaste.
That was wonderful, Noelle. Just what I